I am so pumped for this right now.
Woo!
I'm with an old friend, and I'm very excited to introduce you to Shelley Regner on this show, everybody.
What's up, everybody? I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, we were talking before the podcast started of how we originally met, and it was a term that I learned coming to LA, and that was Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving. Oh, yeah. I just had this past Thanksgiving, my mother, dear mother,
I love
who
your mom.
Jeremiah got to meet at one of our friends' weddings. She sent the Happy Friendsgiving napkin set. So it's still, look,
It's still ringing
years
true.
later,
Yeah.
it's still a thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got to stuff our faces and show each other different YouTube videos of our early sketch and singing videos and things that we were trying to launch off the ground.
I love how starting off that's acceptable. like as you get older, people are like, no, I don't want to watch your YouTube video.
Hi, nice to meet you. Here's my YouTube video.
Here, look at this real quick. And people are like, we're adults. Stop doing this. But yeah, I'm super excited to have you on the show. I like a lot of listeners out there are fans of the Pitch Perfect movies, which you have been in all three.
All three. There's three of them. I cannot even believe.
How weird is that? Just it turning into like a franchise.
It's crazy. It really is. Because when you think of like a trilogy, of course, your mind immediately goes to like Lord of the Rings
Star
or
Wars.
Hangover. The Hangover 1, 2, and 3.
Whenever I think of trilogies, I think of Hangover.
Think of the Hangover. I mean, that's what I go straight to.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, we shot the first Pitch Perfect 7 years ago. It was 2011 when we shot the first one.
And how long had you been in Los Angeles whenever you shot that?
I actually was not in Los Angeles the first time I shot it.
Let's get into that story because I find this story pretty fascinating.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, I tell you, it's definitely a story of the right place, right time, lucky
and
shooting
seizing
star.
the right opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had just graduated college. I went to Louisiana State University, so I partied my way through theater school. And I had just graduated the spring of 2011. The film industry was booming in New Orleans at that time, and unfortunately, not anymore. Atlanta's taken over, but at that time, a couple years back, everything was coming down. All of the Los Angeles people were down there filming, and there was this movie that they were looking for singers to come in. It was actually an open call that they were having at my campus alma mater.
So you just saw some breakdown on campuses like, show up if you're a singer.
I literally got an email from the dean of our, theater music school. And they were saying, look, they're having this open call if you guys want to come up. So I had graduated already, but I said, shoot, I guess alumni counts in the open call. So I went to sign up. There was about 70 names on the list. That's it for this, unknown singing movie. And it went through about 3 weeks of audition callbacks, and they wanted to book me for one of the members of the girl group. Still, during that time, had no idea what anything, they were talking about. They were spitting out, vocabulary like deal memos and the costume is going to call you. And, I knew what rehearsal was and I knew what a check meant, and that's about it.
Those are only two words I know in the industry at that point.
You're going to pay me and I get to rehearse. I'm there.
Okay, cool.
So, so I got hired as a local on the first one and met everyone, got hired on a Friday night, went to rehearsal Monday morning. The rest is history. And we made this movie. No one knew whether it would do well or not.
Yeah.
I had an inkling, I was like, there's all these Hollywood people. This is really cool.
Right.
It's a fun movie. We're having fun making it.
At what point, like during filming, were you like, oh, I think I'm in something legit. Like, I don't think I'm like...
Oh, I'll tell you at what point. We were doing one of the big musical numbers. And most of the time, when you're filming low budget movies or any kind of movies, they have the handhelds or the camera operator that's, has a fairly large camera. We had a crane. And this camera and the crane system, what is that? $600,000, $1 million? Who knows?
Right.
But I was just like, there's so much money in this one day of filming.
Like, I've only seen cranes outside. I've never
outside
seen
working on the buildings downtown.
Yeah.
We're in the building and there's a crane in here and we're shooting a movie.
Mama, I made it.
Exactly.
Whenever you saw the crane, that was like...
Exactly.
Like the Hollywood actors, I don't care about, but the crane, that's legitimacy right there.
I think that was the moment where I was like, whoa, something's going down.
Yeah. That's so cool. And the second one, this is what I like about you. Like you've always been like a go-getter, and you've always been
Thank you.
like a good at self-promoting and just finding opportunities within opportunities.
Absolutely.
And the second one, you kind of reminded them like, hey, I'm available, right?
Oh, absolutely. I was actually on a traveling live stage theater tour when I got the call that they were making a sequel. So I'm like in the middle of, Kentucky going through to the next state in a van, and I'm with 5 of my cast members in the show that we were doing at the time. It was a 50 Shades of Grey parody musical.
Well, let's talk about that for a second.
We'll get into that in a minute.
Okay. Hello.
But yeah, it was just one of those things. They called me. Again, we never knew if the first movie would do well, let alone if it would turn into a sequel or a franchise. And so they called, they said, look, we're doing it again. Do you want to be part of this? I was like, can't believe you're asking me that question. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we got to go back and film back in my hometown. At that point, I moved to Los Angeles after the first one had finished filming. I came out here to visit, all the girls and the friends, and I was like, "Look, I found an apartment, I found a roommate, and I'm gonna go check this Los Angeles thing out."
Yeah.
So at that point, it was nice. It was about 2 years later, and so I got to go back home and film and leave.
That's got to be a good feeling.
It was
going.
great.
I mean, how cool is that to see like some family and friends be like, I'm in town to shoot a little movie. It's a sequel
and now
to.
we have 2 cranes.
2 cranes.
2 cranes. We really made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's an amazing feeling. I always tell people that it's the best of all worlds when I get to go do what I've always had the dream and passion to do, and at the same and go home and visit all my family, because that never matches up. As a comedian, as an actor, you're always traveling. You're always leaving the people you love behind, at home, wherever. So when you get to just go home and film or, do your work and then be with everybody, it's incredible.
Oh, it's so fun. So how young were you whenever you started getting into singing and acting? Just like a little kid, or?
Oh, I was. I've always been on stage. My mom put me in dance classes when I was about 4 years old. So I've always done the dance.
4 years old.
4 years old, man. And I was actually a shy kid. People don't ever believe me when I say that, but I was really, really shy. I clung to the back of my mother's leg. I didn't really talk that much. And my sister, I have an older sister. She was the loud, boisterous spotlight hog, And so I kind of learned from her a little bit to kind of, step out of the box. But my life has been filled with, I'm from Louisiana. We grew up in Mardi Gras. We grew up with football season. I grew up in dance. My life has been sequins and feathers since I can remember. And, in school, I grew up doing choir and the little 4th and 5th grade talent shows. And so that's kind of where it all started.
Do you remember what your teachers were like whenever you were in 4-year-old dance classes?
Oh my goodness. Southern, real Southern.
I think, you know what? I think one of your teachers is actually calling in right now.
It is. Look, where is she?
Hello? Is this Shelley's dance teacher from?
Hi, yes. Oh, I taught Shelley. My name is Doris Grantham. I taught Shelley.
Doris Grantham.
Doris Grantham.
That is quite the name.
She is. It's a real name, actually. She's actually... Shelley took from my studio for about 12 years of her first life. I watched this girl grow up from a shy child to the tapping queen that she is today.
She's a tapping queen?
She's a tapping queen. That's what we specialized in. And I made sure she had all the sequins on her costumes for the dance recitals. And we are just so proud of her. I'm just glad she's tapping through life there in Los Angeles.
Now, it seems to me like you feel like you had a big part of, a big reason why Shelley's had so much success. Do you take a lot of credit for that?
I take all the credit. I don't know. I taught her sister as well, so I just take credit for the Regner girls in general.
Well, what happened to Shelley's sister with dance?
Well, she dances in her living room. I think she hasn't quite gotten out to the audiences as much as Shelley has, but we're still so proud of her. But we really like to broadcast that Shelley took from our studio. We have a giant poster in the front door when you walk into the studio.
Do you really?
Shelley, you need to come sign it. We've been trying to get you down here to come sign your poster.
But Shelley won't show up. She's really busy.
She's a busy girl. But Shelley, when you come back to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you need to stop by Jeffy Jean's studios.
Jeffy Jeans, are you taking new applicants? Because I'd love to take some dance classes from you.
Absolutely, we're taking all the applicants. We love when the guys come in. They add a special something to the dance classes, and they bring the strength.
Yeah, I think it's called testosterone.
Absolutely, anyone is welcome. You come tap your way into the studio and bring Shelley so she can sign that poster.
All right, I'll bring Shelley next time I come. Thanks so much for calling in.
Thank you so much. We love you, Shelley.
Wow.
Oh, Jerice.
Jerice.
I just saw Jerice actually at my sister's wedding. She's the greatest. She is.
Is there really like a giant poster of you in the front?
I don't think so. There might be, but
you go back and there's just this shrine, this pitch perfect shrine.
Well, she did when I was taking it. Really was. It's called Jeffy Jean Studio.
Jeffy Jean. First of all, like that's such a funny name, just like to put on a resume.
It's such a dance studio name.
Yeah.
It is on my resume too. People are like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's Baton Rouge."
Just don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
I'm legit. I'm a tap queen.
It's an actual studio. She specialized in tap dancing. I grew up tapping, doing jazz. Ballet was never my thing. I'm not a technical dancer.
Yeah.
But when you would walk in the studio, she had all these pictures of, her old instructors and, famous dancers and things like that. So I could very well be on it might be a picture of me when I was like 4, but I might be on the wall.
Right. Fingers crossed.
Hopefully I'll sign it.
That's so funny. So whenever you were a kid, because as me growing up, like I had like shows like Saturday Night Live that inspired me to kind of get into comedy and stuff like that. Who are some of the singers that you grew up where whenever you saw them on stage or perform, you're like, I want to do that? Yeah,
it's still for me to this day. Those female singers that have those crazy strong vocals. It doesn't seem like she's been around that long, but when you think about it, like Kelly Clarkson.
Okay.
She was the first season of American Idol. I probably was about 13 or 14, when that show started. That show's like 16 years old or something.
Yeah.
And
which that makes me feel old whenever I like look back and I remember season 1. I'm like, oh my goodness.
What's going on? And so these strong vocalists, the classics, obviously like Aretha Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
I love the strong female vocalists that have just kind of paved the way, and I grew up, my mother loved people like Frank Sinatra and God, who else? She loved like Donny Osmond and everything. I don't think I really got my itch from them. But, these classic vocalists, I grew up watching Broadway musicals too. So I think
what are some of your favorite musicals?
Oh my goodness. Wicked is great. I think one of my first musicals I saw was Beauty and the Beast and Phantom of the Opera, Hairspray, Grease. And everyone just always looked like they were having the most fun time on stage.
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to go with my mom to this outdoor theater in Kansas City called Starlight. And it was literally under the stars. It was like this huge stage and just like this arena-style seating that like went up into the audience. And we get like snacks and stuff, and I remember like watching Peter Pan and just different musicals like that where I was just like blown away.
Right, it was magical because when you're that, you see the lights and the production and these amazing voices and singers, and you're just mesmerized by it. It was amazing. So that's how I had always felt when I saw these live productions and these storytelling. It just seemed like so much fun. And even as a shy kid, I knew that I was like, I kind of want to do that. It's a little scary, but there's some kind of fire within me that wants to do what they're doing.
When did you transition from being a shy kid to more of like the outgoing Shelley that you
funny? My first trip to Los Angeles, I was 12 years old. My sister was graduating high school, and we took a little, family trip, and she wanted to go to Los Angeles, so we came out here. We got tickets to the Family Feud game show.
Oh my goodness!
And you know how they have, I'm sure you know, as in comedy, they have the commercial break hype guys.
Yeah, the audience warm up guys.
Audience warm up guys. Have you ever done that?
No.
That's a whole different. Mogul.
It's a different. I mean, I know some stand-up comedians who do it on a weekly basis, but I've never I've done the very beginning warm up for some live tapings, but
Right.
not like be like the guy that comes out.
I
in
tell you,
between
they're
and all that
great,
stuff.
and that's a hard job too because, like,
yeah,
you know,
it
you
is.
got people that are like, we just want to see the show, or they're tired. They've been walking on, Hollywood Boulevard all day. They come in for like a 2-hour taping, and they're like, "Here's candy and sugar, please."
I think there's
applaud.
There's an audience warm up guy calling. I think it's his name is Stephen Brody Stevens.
Yes, 818 till I die. One of the greatest audience warm-ups in the world. You're speaking to him. Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Stephen Brody Stevens. How are you?
I'm great. What do you want to know about audience warm-up? I know it like the back of my palm.
Listen, I'm actually kind of curious, 'cause since you warm up the audience members so much, what do you do for a warm up before you get out there and warm everybody else up?
I do my material, but in the mirror.
That's how you warm up. I
That's
love
how
it.
I warm
Do you
up.
think you think you're the funniest guy?
I am. I pull out my Periscope. I start selfie sticking me, and I start walking around my neighborhood and getting into the vibe and the rhythm, and then I give it to them like a cold handgun in the summer moonlight.
Stephen Brody Stevens, you're killing me here.
If you ever come to the valley, you will be treated like a queen.
I love being treated like a queen.
I hear you're the tap queen.
I am the tap queen. Have you ever heard of Jeffy Jean Studios?
I have big business in Louisiana and New Orleans around that area.
That's it. Oh my God.
Well, I gotta go. See you later.
You have an audience to warm up?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, good luck, man.
818 till I die.
Well, he really just wanted
What a fun guy.
Brody Stevens, the Prince of Periscope. I can't believe he just called into the show.
I know, man.
Wow, that's exciting.
I bet he was on it right then too.
Yeah.
He's probably warming up. I'm glad he took the time.
Yeah, so
I really appreciate
I know
him.
he's a busy guy. He really he is. I love Brody. So you were at Family Feud.
I was at Family Feud.
Yeah.
The hype guy was saying, "Does anyone want to win a free T-shirt?" Well, I guess that's my true motivation. They said, "Come down here and do a special talent. You'll get a free Family Feud T-shirt." So I'm a little 12-year-old. I'm in the back corner of the audience, and I shoot my hand up, and my mother and my sister were shocked because at that point I still didn't really talk to
You weren't
anybody.
out of your shell,
weren't
really?
out of my shell. He told me to come down there. He said, "What are you going to do?" I told him I was going to sing. He said, "Great. What are you going to sing?" I said, "Obviously Survivor by Destiny's Child." And so the audience starts clapping. I said, "I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop." This tiny little white girl in like a palm tree tank top because I'm in LA for the first time. And they put my face on the monitors behind me. I had my whole concert thing going. I must have loved how that felt because I've never looked back since.
I bet was the audience going crazy too because
They
they weren't
loved it.
expecting it to
They
come out
really
of
weren't
this
expecting
little
it.
white
I
girl.
sang a chorus of it, and the guy goes, "Well, do you know any more?" I said, "I sure do," and I
You went right back into
I went
it?
on. I sang the whole song till they made me stop, and they were like, "We have to get back to the show.
we have to start
Here's your
taping again.
T-shirt."
Here you go.
So, but it was a
You're like,
blast.
I want the mic. Forget the T-shirt.
Oh, and the best part is that my mom, she was like, "Oh my God, that was great. I'm so shocked you did that. You'll never see these people again. It's fine. You don't have to worry about it." We go to the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
And we're walking around. It's like 9:00 at night. This guy passes us. He's walking his dogs. He goes, "You little kid that sang." He was like one of the audience wrangler guys that like worked for production of the Family Feud. And I said, "Oh, I'll never see these people again."
That was your first.
Just a crazy story.
That was the first time you being a celebrity.
That was it. That was my little taste of it. I said, "I think I could do this now."
Do you remember which host it was of Family Feud? Was it Richard Dawson?
No, it was Louis Anderson.
It was Louis
It
Anderson.
was still Louis Anderson.
Oh, yeah, it was still Louis
and he
Anderson.
said, "I have a great career ahead of me."
Did he really?
As I'm walking out the door, he said, "You have a great career ahead of you." That's my Louis Anderson impression.
I think Louis might be calling into the
Is he
show right
calling
now.
in right
He
now?
might be, yeah.
Oh my God, wait a second. Where is he? Louis? Louis, is that you?
Is this Shelley Regner? Shelley, I remember you when you came to the Family Feud and you sang that Destiny's Child song. And you do. Look at your career. I was right. I pegged it.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's calling in right now.
I mean, you really know how to call careers out, Louis.
You know, I've been in this business a really long time. I can spot them from far away.
You really can't. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my composure. I've never been.
I understand. I'm Louis Anderson.
I've never
and
been.
It's a big deal to talk to me. I get it.
I've never been around a celebrity of your stature before.
Well, look, I'm a regular person just like everybody else, except I'm Louis Anderson, so.
Well, I like you on Baskets with Zach Galifianakis a lot. You play a wonderful woman.
Thank you so much. It comes from within.
You have a woman buried deep inside?
I'm not saying yes and I'm not saying no.
All right, Louie. Well, I used to watch Life with Louie all the time.
Oh, I appreciate you. I gotta go into makeup now so I can film the rest of the show for Baskets.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for calling in, Louie.
Shelley, great to see you doing so well.
Thanks, Louie. Appreciate it.
Wow. I mean, I'm constantly impressed how
He sounds great.
he sounds like he's doing really well.
He sounds really good.
And I'm constantly impressed, like, what kind of fan base this show draws. The people that call in always exceed my expectations.
Did you know that Louis Anderson listens
I didn't
to
know
your
that.
podcast?
No idea. So
That's amazing.
It's really exciting.
Maybe he tuned in today because he knew I was
I think
coming on.
you know what? I think it makes
You
sense.
know?
He's a Pitch Perfect fan. And
Yeah,
he's
that
been
makes
following
sense.
You.
That does
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah, I had a really nice interaction with him at the Comedy Store because he's like one of the OG paid regulars at the Comedy Store, and I was doing this bit on stage where this is old bit that I did where I talk about karma and coming back, like I talk about reincarnation, like what if it's real?
Yeah.
And what if you came back as something like, what if you were a bowling ball? So I do this act out where I literally am somersaulting back and forth.
That does not surprise me.
I'm personifying a bowling ball.
Yeah.
So I get off stage and it was like the audience liked it a lot. And Louis Anderson was standing in the corner and he goes, "Hey, hey, what's your name?" I go, "Hey, I'm Jeremiah Watkins." And he goes, "Hey, I liked your set." He goes, "Keep it up. No, nobody's doing anything like that anymore. Nobody does physical comedy like that. Keep doing it. Keep being different."
I love it.
I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." It meant like so much to me.
He must have been on some kind of crack right now. He kind of sounded like Iago from Aladdin on the phone.
Aladdin is Aladdin, Lion King. There's a handful of Disney movies. Peter Pan. There's a handful of Disney movies that like I feel like I just associate with my youth growing up. Like I've watched so many.
Oh yeah.
So many times.
You know what my favorite is, and it's kind of more underrated. I feel like, but Pete's Dragon. Do you remember Pete's Dragon?
Okay, I love the old Pete's Dragon.
Yeah.
I did not like the new one at all.
I think I had some kind of internal conflict going on because I cried so hard in the new one.
Oh yeah.
Don't really know why. I mean, the original is always going to be the top one,
Sure.
you know, and it's great. It's obviously both movies are incredibly different. The first one's a musical, which is probably why we loved it growing up. And there's cartoons. And the second one, the dragon is more like a big giant dog that you have, you know, you feel like I did when they were all the turmoil and everything was going, is he alive? Spoiler alert. Is he alive? Is he not?
There's somebody at home right now that's like, wait, I haven't seen Pete's Dragon yet. Don't spoil it for me.
I'm so sorry. I thought it was great, but again, I think I had to get something out of my system because I cried so hard.
There's some movies that I feel like just pull it out of people.
Yeah. Pete's Dragon, I guess, is mine.
I don't actually cry during movies, but the closest that I've got is did you ever see the movie Simon Birch?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's one of the saddest.
If you don't cry in that movie, then I don't think there's something pumping too terribly hard in there.
It's the closest I've come to crying during a movie. Like my eyes were like twitching and I was like, "Oh, Jeremiah, don't do this."
Wait, did you watch it alone? Do you remember, or were you with a group?
No, I watched it with like family or like a friend or something, but like it's just so sad. Like he's best friends with this kid that takes him under his wings, and then he accidentally kills his mom.
Oh, it's terrible. We watched it. I remember watching this because we were really young when that came out.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, really young. I think a lot of things probably flew over our head.
Yeah.
But we obviously still knew it was sad.
I remember thinking like I had never seen a little person that was a kid before. That was my first introduction.
Right.
I was like, I didn't even know that existed because I'd only seen little people out in public who were adults or something.
Right.
So I was like, you're a kid. You don't like think of like, they started off as a kid.
Well, because also we were probably as tall as kids that were little people, so we probably didn't even
make the difference.
Think.
Yeah.
We watched that at a friend of mine's birthday party sleepover.
Yeah.
What a movie to watch.
Oh, for a
at
sleepover?
A birthday party
An all-girls sleepover? It's like, oh my
Whose
goodness.
idea was that? I don't know why. I think I kind of fell asleep or had seen it. I don't know. I wasn't into it because I was like, let's go do each other's nails or eat the rest of the pizza or popcorn.
There's
in
some
the
good
other
dip right back there.
Come on now. This is depressing and this is a birthday party.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Was it just a bunch of little girls just sobbing?
It was a bunch of like 11. I think there were like 1 or 2 people that were like really into it. They was just y'all be quiet. I'm like, let's go turn on the Spice Girls and dance around and have fun and throw glitter. Your mom will love that cleanup later.
All the girls are leaving like, thanks a lot. This wasn't a good party. Oh, it's so sad. My sister was so into Spice Girls whenever they came out. I think every girl around that age in that era, those early mid 90s, were just so enthralled. They
was
took
amazing.
the world by.
It was amazing because you could identify. Their marketing was perfect because you could identify. Everyone could identify somehow with one of the spices.
Which one were you?
I was Ginger Spice.
Were you?
Yeah. Some people actually had really dark hair growing up.
Yeah.
And I've kind of changed it to the red in the past few years. But people wanted me. No one wanted to be Posh Spice. I'm sorry, Victoria, but no one wanted to be Posh Spice. She was kind of a bitch, and but she wore little black Gucci dresses and it was fine. But she just wasn't as fun and vibrant as the other ones.
I feel like she didn't talk as properly as
They were like, you know what, you just look pretty and stand right here and we'll do the rest.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you know what? I think Posh Spice is calling in right now. Hello, Posh, is this?
Hey, is this Jeremiah Wonders?
You're on the show right now.
It's me, Posh Spice.
Hey, Posh Spice. Oh my God. I didn't mean to, I did not.
Has Shelley Regner been talking bad about me?
Listen, when you're a 10-year-old girl, you kind of came off real strong in the posters.
Because I'm a strong woman.
That's true. I do. I know you are. I mean, you are like a fashion mogul right now.
I'll fight you in the streets of Britain.
You know, I bet you could win, honestly. I don't know. Wow.
Sorry, I had a dip in.
Posh, you are hardcore. I knew you were hard, but I guess I'm learning a lot about you.
I was listening to the show. You said you identify as ginger. Just
do.
because of the hair, is that it?
The hair, she was always bouncy and bubbly. I feel like I've got that kind of similarity in the personality.
I can be bouncy. I can be bubbly.
Posh, I just don't believe you.
Come on, let's have a girls' night together.
Well, you just wanted to fight me, so I don't know if that's bouncy and bubbly.
It's bouncy and bubbly. Your face will be bouncing off the pavement once I'm done with you.
Can I ask you a question, though?
No, of course, ask me a question. A bloody question.
During this fight, would you wear your little black dress?
I would, but the zippers might catch and it might be hard to actually hit you.
How are you doing now?
I'm not doing too well. To be honest, I'm kind of in a little bit of a rut, and that's why I'm so quick to fight you.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, I've got a lot of problems in my head.
You know what? There's a lot of self-help books. You should probably watch Jeremiah's podcast, get some laughter.
Okay, maybe it'll put me in a better mood. Maybe I can become bubbly Spice.
Yeah, but you know what else it is? I love you so much, but you're real skinny. You might just need to eat a sandwich.
Maybe I need to eat a pizza or something. Jeremiah talks about that all the time on the podcast.
And I tell you what, it's real good pizza. So you definitely get yourself a slice.
All right, I gotta go.
All right.
Wow.
She was very curt. She just threatened to fight you and leave. It was kind of like intimidating.
I've never been threatened to be in a physical fight before.
Yeah, by somebody you didn't know over a phone?
I don't know, though. I kind of would like to see what that
you
looked like.
I'm kind of intrigued.
Do you think
you could take her?
give me, she'd be in stilettos. I bet I could just like not buckle her knees down and just grab her by the hair, wing her.
See, you already think of technique of, of how to fight her.
I think, she's a tiny woman. I think I got a little more on her that I could hold my own for a minute. But then again, she might be real stealthy and
never know.
Who knows? But was it maybe? Do you remember the celebrity death matches on MTV?
I loved those.
Maybe we'll make up. I'll be a clay character. She can be a clay character.
Oh.
And we'll see how that fight goes down.
So fun.
That was the best. I loved watching that stuff.
There's like some shows in that era that were just like, oh my goodness.
I know.
I mean, probably kids now would not be allowed to watch some of that stuff.
I don't know. I mean, what was that? Was that MTV?
Yeah.
Because
some
now
of that stuff
they've got all the pregnant teens and,
I guess so.
It's different. It's different now.
Yeah.
It is a different time we are in. That is for sure.
Yeah, very much so. I want to get into this next segment, Pizza Party. Pizza time for pizza party. So, we just had some delicious pizza from Joe's.
Bomb-ass
cheese,
pizza.
New York style pizza.
Oh my God,
from Joe's.
Those giant slices. I had 2. I'm not even mad about
Girl,
it.
I had like 3 on the
I'm
DL.
not even mad.
I ain't mad at it.
I ain't even worried. And I ain't working out later either, so.
Hey, listen
Hi.
up. I'm off right now.
That's right.
So what is a memory that you have with pizza that you maybe want to share that's like anything good or just like a fun memory? Because I have so many things that I just like whenever I bite into a pizza, it instantly transports me to childhood.
Yeah, no, truly. I was telling you before we were on air, I took a first bite of Joe's Pizza and immediately got transported back to like Chuck E. Cheese, birthday parties and watching those scary ass mouse, life-size mouses doing their band thing. But you go for the games and everything. But when it was pizza time, it was pizza time. Oh my God.
Everything else got shut out in the world.
Truly.
Literally, whenever the parents are like, pizza's here.
Yeah, you're like, I know nothing else in the world. And what else? I don't know if when you were a kid, but it was always like Friday night. Friday night was pizza night.
Sure.
It was TGIF. You'd order pizza into your home. You'd, get all the slices. Of course, I was a classic girl, so I just loved the cheese and the bread.
Yeah.
And you'd watch your favorite TV shows with
Boy
your
Meets
family.
World.
Boy Meets World, Step by Step.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, what else was it? TGIF. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Chowing on a box of pizza.
Step by Step was my first introduction. Step by Step and Pepper Ann were the first introductions
Pepper
that I.
Pepper Ann, let's go for 7th grade.
Oh yeah, those were my first introductions to families that had divorced parents.
That makes sense.
Because I like literally none of I grew up like in a conservative household and like in the church where divorce was so frowned upon.
Oh yeah, you don't talk about it, you don't do it. If your parents are miserable, then you just sweep it under the rug.
Under the rug.
Yep.
Just like all the other sins.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry about that.
Like, we're perfect. We're perfect
everything
family.
It's fine.
Everything's
now take
great.
the picture.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
real quick.
I'm crying and dying on the inside.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that was like whenever I got introduced, it was such a foreign concept, divorce, because I only had like one friend maybe.
Yeah.
That had divorced parents, 1 or 2 friends that had divorced parents growing up, and it was like, oh, that's like real bad. Yeah. And now my parents are divorced, and it's one of those things where I'm like, it's so funny to look back on how you thought of certain things as a little kid, like how whenever you're not around it, you're so scared of it, and you just like don't know. Like whenever I came out to LA, that's like whenever I met all walks of earth as far as people, because in Kansas City and in Kansas. It's such like, like a small bubble of
with
the
Louisiana.
Yeah.
I mean, you got this group of people. Most people are Catholic.
Yeah.
I didn't meet my first Jewish person until moving to Los Angeles.
Right.
It's like, this is the hub over here. I was like, now,
we in it out
now,
here, son.
now I'm asking people if they want to come home with me for Christmas or Thanksgiving. And they're like, they're real conservative down there.
Yeah.
Will I be accepted? I'm like, geez, I forget about that. That's a thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's kind of cool though to think of how your mind can be kind of opened up after you've been raised a certain way or something.
Truly, it really is.
That's whenever I feel like you you meet people where you're like, oh, I've like literally grown as a person. And that's like kind of
Absolutely.
a cool, good feeling. You're
It
like,
really
I was
is.
at this one point in my life and now like I'm able to think in a way more open and positive way.
Well, and I got to be honest, just in the last, I've only been in LA 6 years now. Just in the last like 3 alone, having that opportunity and that introspection within yourself of going like, oh no, this is what I believe as a person. And these are the morals or the ideas or the opinions that I have that aren't influenced by parents or teachers or, the community around you. And there's always going to be some form of influence and whatnot.
Sure.
But being able to say like, no, I have an opinion, and it's mine. That kind of it's a proud feeling to know
It
that
feels
like
really
I've
good.
grown into myself and knowing and
There's
coming from
there's a power to it.
There's absolutely power, and coming from diverse backgrounds is just like we have been, where we started in one place obviously, and now we're living in a totally different eclectic realm of society. It's nice that we get to have that, because like you said, it is our own and it is powerful.
I remember, so this is literally the last time where I felt like I was influenced by family, where I wasn't making my own decisions. Like before, it was right before I moved out here. And I remember it very clearly because it has to do with America's history.
Which is a little warped when you get back home, right?
It's so weird. So I was, it was when McCain was running against Obama.
Yep.
And
I was back home during that time too.
So I was in the booth, and the guilt of my family, like I was like thinking I was going to vote for Obama the whole time.
Yeah.
And then the guilt of my family, I voted for McCain like right before. And I felt like as soon as I did it and I left, I was like, why didn't I stick to my guns?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was literally the last time where I'm like, I need to stop being influenced by family or what other people think and start making my own decisions.
Absolutely.
So that was like one of those like moments in my life where I was like,
crazy.
That's like, it was just one of those weird moments.
Yeah. No, I remember I think I was like in my senior year of college during that election process.
Yeah.
And I was in theater, so I had a lot of like liberal, type and everything.
Yeah.
So, but on the same, end spectrum, I had all the conservative views and everything. And I remember hearing just in the mall or wherever it was, it's like, if Obama wins, I'm moving to Canada. I'm moving to, you know what I mean?
I
just
know.
like everyone says in every election, if
Yeah.
who I don't want to win
Then
wins,
I'm
then I'm
moving
out of the country.
Yeah.
But then you move and you just kind of laugh about it. You just gotta laugh. That's like everything is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're getting a phone call. Oh no.
Oh my God.
He's going to be upset.
Oh, no.
President Obama is calling in to the show right now.
Oh my God.
Hello?
Hi, former President Obama.
This is Obama here. And I was just calling in to ask why I wasn't voting for him.
Look, I'm sure you can imagine you are a man of travel.
I was a better candidate,
Yes.
better public speaker, had better worldviews. Why'd you vote for McCain?
Well, I think we were very influenced by our public surroundings, and we were very young, and we have since learned our lessons.
You know, that's how Trump got elected.
It is.
Is
And
people guilting each other and voting for him.
it is. And if you were we wish you were still in the office, Obama.
We do wish you were still
We wish you were still
in
we
the
have
office.
Learned,
Can we say
learned
that
the
enough?
error of our ways.
Well, that is nice to hear.
Thank you so much for your time and your efforts, and
Yeah, you need to thank me a little bit more.
thank you. What I would really love to say is, can you please tell Michelle hi for me and that her arms are fantastic?
Sasha, Malia, stop twerking over there. What was that? Sorry. Yeah, I'll tell the wifey you said hello.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you again for your time
Thank you, President Obama.
in office. We do wish you were still here.
Well, it's nice to hear, and I hope you have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
I can't believe the president just called it. Can you believe that?
Oh my God.
I can't believe. Wow.
Oh.
I mean,
man.
first Louis Anderson, and then you don't think it
Did
can
you
outdo
realize
itself.
you had the reach that you have on your podcast?
I get people who write into the show that are from Scotland, Australia, Iceland, Germany, but I had no idea that
Obama.
the former president of the United States, Obama. Just called in.
Just called. What? That was cool. That was really cool.
That was a good time.
We actually, in Pitch Perfect 2, it would have been so cool if he was there, but they had to do like a stand-in because the first like performance number in the opening of the second movie, we were performing at Lincoln Center, quote unquote, for the president for like his birthday or something. Things go awry and the movie continues, but they had to have stand-ins that shoot from behind that had to look like Obama and Michelle.
Yeah.
And I was like, how cool would it be if they were actually here?
And we didn't need stand-ins.
And we didn't need it. Let's all go to DC, please. He's not that busy, right?
Let's party. He can make room for the Pitch Perfect movie. So we were talking about our favorite Disney movies a second ago. You're doing something that's pretty cool that you recently... You appeared on American Idol.
I did. Oh my God.
And you got to do this group. So let's talk about what that is exactly.
Yeah,
it's such a cool thing.
It's really, really cool. We're really excited to be like branching out and getting this brand out there. It's called D Capella. Stands for Disney Acapella.
Okay.
And we just formed this group. Deke Sharon is the musical director who did all the musical direction and arrangements for all the Pitch Perfect movies.
Oh, so that's awesome.
So
you already have a
it's
relationship.
just like a family, that I'm getting. He's dubbed the father of contemporary a cappella.
Wow.
And I dub him the godfather of my career because he's been so wonderful in presenting these different opportunities for me. So it's Deke and Disney Music Group and Walt Disney Records who have combined their efforts to make this 7-person group, a cappella group. We sing all of like the Disney classics from, the original, like from Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, all our favorites. Up to the modern classics now of like Moana and Frozen, and it's all human vocals and all revitalized and remixed and everything. We're working on an album to come out, and they want to make a production of a tour that'll go out in 2019.
That is so exciting.
So it's really, really cool. And, just as someone who's obviously grown up on stage and loves to sing and, the combination of creating a new family to work with and be part of is really exciting. So we have a lot of new opportunities coming up. Like I said, we just did American Idol as our first like debut to the public.
What a great debut.
I mean, I tell you what, Disney
and how cool
no
is
joke.
it full circle that you have been influenced by singers like Kelly Clarkson, and then you get to be on that stage.
Oh, it's amazing. And what's funny is we were all kind of talking amongst ourselves in the group. And as a singer, that show's been on 16 years. Everybody's auditioned for that show if you're a singer.
Some point.
I auditioned for that show like in college in Dallas, Texas. I mean, half the group had auditioned. None of us made it, obviously.
What was the song that you did whenever you auditioned? Do you remember?
I auditioned with, it was a song. It wasn't like a popular single, but it was on Christina Aguilera's Back to Basics album.
Okay.
And it was called Mercy on Me. And it was just this, it was very Christina song. She's belting and riffing and high wailing. And I was like, I'm going to go in there and show them my Christina side. And they're going to let me through. And I'm going to be in the top 10. And I'm going to win American Idol. And they were like, thank you so much for your time. That's a no today.
Now, did you try to do your version, or were you trying to do like kind of almost an impression of Christina?
Probably a mix of both. No, I wasn't that grunty, but I was definitely trying to riff my best life, trying to wail, show them what I got. Mind you, I'm like 20 years old, so I don't know how good it actually sounded.
Sure.
Probably sounded better in my head than it did coming out of my mouth.
Oh, I look back at oh my goodness, I found an old audition tape that I sent into the Jay Leno show whenever that weird period of time.
Yep.
It is horrifying.
It's like a stand-up or what?
I did impressions and I did singing, and it is so cringe. Like, it's so cringeworthy.
Right.
Because I'm watching it, like I'm doing this thing where you can tell that I have a confidence there.
Yeah.
But then whenever I go in and out between like the setups, the setups are the most shy.
You're like,
yeah, no, I'm like, I'm like, so this next one is this is Justin Timberlake, and here we go. And then I'll go into it,
And then
and
you're
I'll lock
like,
in.
yeah.
I'm him, but then like as soon as, and then I'm like, thanks. So it's Justin Timberlake. Like, it's so.
It is, and like in that moment, in that time, you're like, "Oh, that was awesome! You have this confident, like this tunnel vision of like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm gonna do."
That's the only way to get to the next level.
If you look back on it, and you're like, "What was
if you're
I
not
doing?"
a little bit crazy pursuing the entertainment industry, like what the field that we're in, like you can't even get past that first level, because a logical person would be like, oh, this is impossible. This is like,
how do you do this?
The odds are so against you.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
No, I always tell people, especially, a lot of analytical people or people that are just interested. And they're like, oh, what made you want to? I'm like, I don't know. And I still don't know. But I know that I've got to be crazy to still want to do it, because I don't have the passion and effort to want to do anything else. It's like, thank God for people that are in finance, because I don't have the ability to do that. Thank God for people that love biology and that want to be doctors. I can't do that either. I want to make people smile and laugh, and I want to sing, and Lord knows how I'm going to do that, but that's all I know how to do.
Yeah. I'm going to figure out a way to make that happen.
Figure it out. And I got to be crazy to do it. So here we go.
I want to do a brand new segment I've never done on the show.
Okay.
Because you're a wonderful singer and performer, and I'd like to do a new segment called Singing with Shelley.
I love it. I need that.
So, let's sing maybe some Disney stuff first, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Do you know Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Is that one of the songs?
Yeah. That's not one of the songs we sing, but I do know the song.
The look, if you're listening to this, the look that she just gave me was so priceless. Like, girl, like, yeah, I know.
Hello, Sir
hello.
Elton.
Yeah.
Sir Elton John.
Let's start from I can see what's happening.
Oh, I don't know the verses.
What?
What? Huh?
They haven't got a clue. Ooh.
Oh.
They'll fall in love, and here's a bottom line. A trio's down to 2. Oh.
I do.
And then we'll go into the chorus. Then we'll go to the. Can you feel the love tonight?
It's enough to make kings and vagabonds live the very best. I think we should have been on the soundtrack.
Probably. I think we nailed it.
I'm pretty sure.
I think we just nailed Can You Feel the Love Tonight? All right. What's one that you guys have been doing? Well, and I'll try to jump in with you on one of the Disney ones.
One that we've been doing a lot is Friend Like Me, who by Sir Robin Williams, the rest in peace, man.
You never had a friend like me.
Yeah. What is it? When you go, ba, 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 wah, ba, 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 ho, 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 da, 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 whoa, ba, ba, choo, ba, ba, right?
Yeah.
Alibaba had them 40 thieves. Scheherazade had 1,000 tales. Well, something like, 'cause up your sleeve, you got a brand of magic never fails. You got some power in your corner now, some heavy ammunition for your can. You got some punch, pizzazz, something in how. All you gotta do is rub that lamp. Mr. Aladdin, sir, what will your pleasure be? Let me take your order, put it down. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Ooh. Oh, if I could have, I might have to add some applause. Yeah, I'll have to add some.
I just realized, too, that I was singing my harmony that we sing in the group. So that actually was, they're probably like, that's not how the song goes. That's how my part
You're
goes.
like, I'm harmonizing.
I'm harmonizing to
You will
no
never have a
one
friend
right
like
now.
me.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's
Such
so
a fun song. Have you seen the live show?
No.
It's really fun. I went to see it. I saw it in New York a couple
Yeah.
years ago. And then I saw it. It came to the Pantages in Los Angeles a few months back.
Yeah.
And it's really, really fun. I mean, that Disney money, they got the spectacle and the lights and the glitz and the glam and the genie just steals the entire
Well,
show.
the fact that Disney now is kind of owns Marvel and everything.
I didn't even realize that.
They have the market on, like, if you go to Disneyland now, it's crazy all the characters because they own all the rights.
Right.
They own Avengers, they own like every
Star Wars.
And then
and then obviously all the Disney classics.
Yeah.
But I just found out about a month ago that because I went to we were in the Walt Disney lot for a performance, for Disney Internal and showing them what we're about for Decapella, and we went to the gift shop and they had all the Captain America and the Avengers stuff, and I was kind of confused because I was like,
yeah,
this
you're like,
doesn't.
wait, this
I was like,
isn't...
I don't remember, and my friend said, well, they own Marvel.
And you're like, oh, that's
okay,
right.
this makes all the sense, but I just had no idea.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere. All
it's
that
crazy.
stuff to where, Pixar, they work with Pixar. Everything is Disney.
The merch is unbelievable that they have there.
Absolutely.
It's just like, wow.
Yeah, it really is. It's crazy.
What did you have a favorite boy band growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Which team did you fall under?
Oh, man, I tell you what, and I'm so proud of them. They just got their star on the Walk of Fame.
My
I'm an
goodness.
NSYNC girl.
It's gonna be me.
It's gonna be me. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I'm an NSYNC girl all the way, and I was actually a JC fan.
Okay.
JC Chazé.
Yeah.
Like, that was my boy.
He's good.
And, obviously I love Justin Timberlake, but during, little 5th grade me, I was like, JC is so hot.
JC's where it's at. I got to meet and sing with Joey Fatone on a cruise ship for the Impractical Jokers.
How fun. Oh,
He
my God.
couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah.
He is, oh my goodness.
That's what I've heard.
That was like we were just like warming up and like practicing and like doing harmonies for this one section, and I was just like, how is this real life?
Yeah.
What's happening
You
right
don't
now?
They were actually NSYNC was my first ever live concert
Yeah.
I went to. The girl band Bewitched opened for them. Do you remember Bewitched?
Yeah.
Opened for them. They were the first opener, and then the second
That's so
opener was
funny.
Britney Spears.
What?
Yeah, opened for NSYNC, and I'm sure that's where the Britney Justin
Yeah,
love
that
sparked.
whole
And then it was the NSYNC
fiasco.
concert, and it was, oh my God. My dad was there because he took us, and he went to the bathroom and plugged his ears with toilet paper because of all the little screaming girls, me being one of them.
Oh,
just being
of course. I bet your ears as an adult would have been like just shot
Oh,
after
I'm
a concert
sure.
like
And of
that.
course, we were, up by the large boombox speakers that just hang from the ceiling. So it was just worse. But best experience of my life. I was like, I'll never not go to live concerts and see my favorite boy bands.
Yeah.
I love it.
What was some? Maybe we'll sing one of our favorite NSYNC songs together.
Oh, yeah. There's so many.
There's a lot.
There's so many. The original song was, When I Want You Back.
There's that.
obviously,
There's Bye Bye Bye. Dirty
Yeah.
Pop.
Dirty Pop.
I love that
I
song.
karaoke'd that song not too long ago.
Did you really?
Yeah. For the first time, I went to one of those like private karaoke rooms. Super fun.
Those are fun.
And I was like, you know what? We're going hard.
Do you know the words of that?
Oh, yeah. Dirty Pop. Bow, bow. Sick and tired of hearing all these people talk about what's the deal with this pop life and when is it gonna fade out? I think you got to realize what you're doing is not a trick. We got the gift of melody. We're gonna bring it till the end. It doesn't matter what the car drive, what I wear around my neck. Doesn't matter that you recognize that it's just about respect. All that matters, you get high, never do it every time. Do you ever wonder why? Music gets you high, take you on a ride. Feel it when your body's out, when your body's out of the can't stop. And the music's all you got. Baby, come on, this must be.
Yes.
Yes.
We crushed that.
Congratulations, NSYNC.
Congratulations, NSYNC, and congratulations, viewers and listeners,
for
being
that
gifted
beautiful
that
melody.
performance.
You are welcome.
Oh, yes. Well, this has been Singing with Shelley.
That was great.
That was fun.
Yeah.
So, I want to, before we get into this last segment, I want to talk to you about that 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, yeah.
Thing,
Oh, yeah.
because
Let's
that's just
go
such
back.
a funny.
It is. You know what's funny is, I can't believe. Speaking of trilogies, like, isn't that the one you think of? The 50
Yeah.
Shades 1, 2, and 3. I've actually never seen any of them.
I've seen the first two.
Have you?
Because here's the thing with the 50 Shades of Grey movies. I've watched them with my wife at home. You can't. It doesn't make sense to me if a girl, like, I get why women would want to go see that with girlfriends and get all horned up and whatever.
Right.
But like, if you take a date to that, you get.
That's
I feel like it's just like a porno.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just like a porno. Like, if you're making it all the way to the end without like taking a break to stop it, then you're not enjoying it all
I'm
the
sure
way.
you'd be like, "Ooh, okay,
it's getting a little
holy moly, yeah."
Okay.
And then you're with like 50 other people,
Yeah.
and where you're just like, "Oh God, what is happening in this chair right now?" And I have a stranger right next to me.
Yeah.
This is
There's a lot going on in this chair.
But some people might be into that. Be like, "Hey, baby, hey, stranger,
why does it feel like Rainforest Cafe in here?"
Oh my God, it's the truth. But when I was on this tour, the first movie had come out. There was they had promoted that they had a sequel coming.
Yeah.
And this production company had this original, like, the first 50 Shades of Grey tour out. Mind you, there were like 5 other 50 Shades of Grey parody productions going on. Like, I think Second City had one. There was one off Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were all having it at the same time. So everyone had to be specific about like which 50 Shades production are you working on?
Yeah.
And we were actually like a sequel parody. Our show was called Spank Harder. And the logo was on a paddle, Spank, But it was fun. It was, all new lyrics to melodies that you already knew. So we sang, funny parody lyrics to the melody of It's Raining Men or the melody of Someone Like You. One of my songs, it was the lead character, the Christian Grey character was called Hugh Hansen. So I had to sing, "Never mind, I'll find someone like Hugh." And, I sang about balls and I sang about anal beads and like, it was just ridiculous. And it was just a fun, like, girls' night out.
Sure.
Drink margaritas with your girlfriends and watch some really hot dudes take their shirt off. And I got to sing funny songs. So it was a good time. It really was.
That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Well, let's get into this final segment.
All right.
Called Sax Talk. Oh, sax talk.
You gotta get the sax wet, and then get the
I definitely got to get the sax wet. So Shelley is going to share a story with us of a sexual encounter from her past, and I'm going to lay down some sweet, sweet saxophone underneath. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take it back a few years back. Salty and smooth. She's at the bar in college. She meets the guy and makes her eyes gaze, linger across. A few vodkas in, they meet and make out a little bit. Then he asks if she wants a piggyback ride. This is not a joke. She says yes, obviously. And they piggyback to the parking lot where they swap spit a little more. Things progress, and obviously, he invites her back to his home. It was a long-ass walk. I sobered up real quick. We get to the house. He goes to the bathroom. I realize I'm in a stranger's house, and I have no idea where I am. So I ran away. I call that one the piggyback runaway.
That was the deal breaker for you.
I tell you, I was like, you making me walk 4 miles to your damn house so we can go be alone.
Was it super far away?
He told
or did
me.
it just feel? Was he one of those people that said it's just right up the street?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay.
I'm right around the corner. Okay, it's been half an hour and we're still walking to your place.
I've learned from being on the road where I'll meet people at the show sometimes. They're like, "Hey, dude, there's a bar just right down the street. We should all just go to it." And I'll be with like another comedian friend or whatever, and we'll say yes. We're like, "Yeah, you know what? It's early still. We'll go."
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, it is not up the street at all. It is so far away.
Like the other town in the next county.
Yeah. So my friend started to tell me, he's like, get the name of the bar ahead of time, plug it into your GPS before you start
before
just
you go
walking.
anywhere. Yeah. Because then you're like, well, I've already committed this far.
Right.
I just got to get there and then figure it out from there. I did, though. I got there and like by that time, this is where he failed because you left it too much time for me to sober up and realize I don't really want to do this.
Yeah.
So
Every step I take,
every move I make. Oh my God, I want pizza. I'm starving. I'm getting out of here.
Right?
Yeah.
And then, you're sobering up every step you're taking.
Every step of the way.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, this seems less and less like a good idea, and I just want to go home and pass out.
Yeah. Shelley, I've absolutely loved having you on the show.
This has been a blast.
Is there anything that you'd like to plug before we wrap up?
Look, you can, for D Capella, you can go online right now. We have our first single out from Big Hero 6. It's called Immortals. It's really awesome. And you can also see us in the upcoming Beauty and the Beast live concert at the Hollywood Bowl if you're in the Los Angeles area. It's going to be May 25th and 26th. Tickets are on sale now, so we would love to have you, and I can't wait to show you guys more with this group. What's coming up?
So, last question before we leave. What's a moment that you've had performing on stage? As it could have been as an actor or a singer, one of the many things that you do.
Yes.
What was a moment where you felt like, for like your own measure, like I'm making it, I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing, like I'm living the dream?
I can tell you exactly the moment I had that. Cut to about 3 years ago, and Deke Sharon, who I mentioned I worked with on Pitch Perfect, and now with D Capella, he has a live concert every year in New York. He's been doing it about 3 years, and he asked if I would come solo for his first concert for it was the Distinguished Concerts International of New York that puts on the concerts. It's at Carnegie Hall, and it was my first time as a soloist. I'd never been to Carnegie Hall at all, let alone go to perform there. And you walk in that space and you can feel the history and the magic and the passion and the sweat and everything from the people that, just like we were talking about earlier, that we have watched our entire lives and that are our influencers and influences and icons that we look up to. And they lead me up to the dressing room. There's a piano where you're like, what fingers have touched this? There's pictures of Frank Sinatra. There's pictures of Ella Fitzgerald. There's pictures of the most influential, iconic singers of our time and before. And just being able to, I'm getting chills talking about it right now, because being able to stand in the middle of a sold out crowd at Carnegie Hall, look up and just hear the acoustics and the music. That was a moment where I was like, you're doing it. You're absolutely doing it. So yeah, it's amazing.
I love that. Well, thanks for sharing that awesome story.
Thank you very
And
much. Thanks for having me. This was a blast.
I'm so excited to see where your career is going to keep taking you, because
Thank
I
you.
love, from a small random Thanksgiving that we met each other at years
Absolutely.
ago to see, where we've come is so cool.
Keeping
So
the journey
I'm
going
really excited
for sure.
you.
Thank you.